So, in this video we will discuss about human eye. We see things only when light coming from them enter our eyes. Eye is the most important sense organ. So, it is very important to know about the working and structure of the human eye. So, the eye is of a roughly spherical shape. It is in the ball shaped structure. The outer coat of the eye is very tough, so that that outer coat will protect the eye from the external injuries. Then a transparent part is there in front of the eye, that is known as the cornea. That is known as the cornea. So, this portion is the cornea. Then you can see a dark muscular diaphragm behind the cornea, that is known as the iris. So, this portion is the iris, this portion is the iris. Then the iris, there is a small opening, in the iris there is a small opening through which the light will pass through it. So, that is the pupil. So, that is the pupil. So, in the iris there is a small opening called pupil. The size of the pupil is controlled by the iris. The size of the pupil is controlled by the iris. Iris is that part of the eye which gave color to the eye. Suppose someone is having green eyes, means it represents the color of the iris. Then the iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. The iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. Now, behind the pupil, a lens is there. That lens is of convex type. That is thicker at the middle and thinner at the edges. So, behind the pupil a lens is there. That lens is of convex type. Then, this lens will focus the light rays on a light sensitive screen on the back of the eye, that is known as the retina. This light will pass through this lens, this one is a lens, and it will form an image here that is known as the retina. So, retina consists of so many light sensitive cells and an image will be formed on the retina. Then several light sensitive cells are there on the retina and the signals will be given to the brain through the optic nerve. So, lens focus light on the back of the retina on a layer backside of the eye, that is known as the retina. Retina consists of several nerve cells, that is light sensitive cells. The sensation felt by the retina or by the nerve cells are transmitted to the brain through the optic nerve. There are two kinds of light sensitive cells on the retina, that is cone cells and rod cells. Cone cells which are sensitive to bright light and rod cells which are sensitive to dim light. Cone cells are sensitive to bright light and also color. Okay, cone cells are sensitive to bright light and also for colors. Rod cells are sensitive to dim light. At the junction of the optic nerve and the retina, there is no sensory cells, so no vision is possible at that spot. This is called the blind spot. At the junction of the retina and the optic nerve, there is no sensory nerve cells, means no rods and cones are present there at that point, and that point is known as the blind spot. Blind spot is a region on the retina at the junction of the optic nerve and the retina. There is no sensory cells at that point, hence image formed there cannot be seen. So, if an image is formed at this point, it will not be seen. Okay. Now, an activity is given in your textbook, page number 206, activity 16.9, that is a demonstration to the presence of blind spot in your eye. Okay, that is a demonstration of blind spot present in your eye. Blind spot means the area where no vision is possible. Okay, then next important thing is persistence of vision. Persistence of vision. The image of an object formed in retina does not vanish immediately. It stays there for 1/16th of a second. That is known as the persistence of vision. That is known as persistence of vision. So, any image that is formed on the retina will be there for 1/16th of a second. That is known as persistence of vision. Any image that is flashed more than 16 images per second could be seen as moving. Could be seen as moving. Okay. If any images are flashed more than 15 images per second, more than 16 images per second, then we will have a feeling that that object is moving. The impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. It persists there about 1/16th of a second. So, if still images of a moving object are flashed on an eye at a rate of faster than 16 per second, then the eye perceives this object as moving. Here you can see. Actually, this object is not moving. Here all these lights, all these pictures are moving, or all these images are moving or flashed more than 16 images per second. More than 16 images per second, then it appears to be, then that still image appears to be a moving one. Here an activity is there. You can take a circular disc made up of a cardboard, and so two sides will be there. On the one side you will paste a drawing of a cage like this. On the other side you will draw a figure of a picture of a monkey or a bird. Okay. Now, you make two holes at the end of the circular cardboard and tie it with the help of a thread. And tie it with the help of a thread. When you rotate it fast, you will be able to see that the bird is inside the cage. The bird is inside the cage. So, just take a circular disc. Two sides will be there. On the one side, you will draw a picture of a cage, and the other side you will draw a picture of a bird. Now, you put two holes and just tie it using a thread. Okay. Then you rotate it fast. You can see that the bird is inside the cage. The bird is inside the cage. So, that is due to persistence of vision. Then this one is a flip book. Okay. When you move it, when you flip it faster, you will see that all that images, all that still images are moving. Okay. That also you can see here. Okay. So, that is about persistence of vision. Okay. So, persistence of vision means the image of an object formed in front of the eye or the image formed on a retina will be there for 1/16th of a second. That is known as persistence of vision. Now, the movies that we actually see is a number of separate pictures in proper sequence. They are made to move across the eye, usually at a rate of 24 pictures per second. 24 pictures per second, faster than 16 per second. So, we see the moving picture. Nature has provided eyes with eyelids to prevent any object from entering the eye. Eyelids also shut out light when not required. Eye is such a wonderful instrument that it normally can see distant as well as near objects clearly. The minimum distance at which an object can see distinctly varies with age. The most comfortable distance at which one can read with normal vision is about 25 centimeter. Means we will be able to read a book. After some time, when you look out, you can see a distant tree also. That's done with the help of the adjustment by the ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles are here. This is the ciliary muscles. That will hold the lens. So, the ciliary muscles will adjust and we will be able to see near object as well as distant objects clearly. So, a minimum distance is there to see a distant object without any strain. That is known as least distance of distant vision. For normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. Okay, for normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. Some persons cannot see close objects to them clearly, but some cannot see distant objects so clearly. Some people can see near objects clearly, but they can't see distant objects clearly. But some persons can see distant objects clearly, but they can't see near objects clearly. So, with the help of suitable corrective lens, we can rectify this defect. Okay. So, this is a normal vision. This is a normal vision. Means when you look an object, the image will be formed on the retina. When you look an object, the image will be formed on the retina. Then, when you look, so two corrective defects is there. Two defects of vision is there. One is long sight and the other one is short sight, or myopia or hypermetropia. Then, a person suffering from myopia find it difficult to see distant objects. A person having from myopia will have a difficulty to see distant objects clearly. The reason is that the light focused before the retina and the distant object appears blurred. So, this light from a distant object will be formed in front of the retina. That is known as myopia. In another condition or another situation, that is the light from a very close object will focus behind the retina. Will focus behind the retina. So, that is known as hypermetropia. Okay. So, in this case, in myopia or short sight, that person can see near objects clearly, but he can't see distant object. The reason is that the light from a distant object focus in front of the retina. Then, for hypermetropia or long sight, he can see distant object clearly. Long sight. Distant objects he can see clearly, but he can't see near objects. The reason is that the light from a near object falls behind the retina. So, how we will overcome or how we will rectify this defect? With the help of steps. Lenses or spectacles, we can rectify this defect. So, to correct this defect, for correcting myopia, we will use concave lens. This one is for myopia. So, to correct short sight or myopia, we use concave lens, and to correct hypermetropia or long sight, we will use convex lens. This word is not given in your textbook, but I explain what is long sight, short sight, hypermetropia and myopia. Then, sometimes, particularly in old age, eyesight become foggy. It is due to the eye lens becoming cloudy. When it happens, person are said to have cataract. There is loss of vision, sometimes extremely severe. It is possible to treat this defect. This opaque lens is removed and a new artificial lens is inserted. Modern technology has made this procedure simpler and safer. So, in old age people, the lens become milky and cloudy, means the light will not pass through the lens. So, there we can rectify that defect, that is known as cataract, by surgery. Means we will replace the opaque lens with a new artificial lens. So, that is known as cataract. Then, care of eyes. How we can take care of eyes? It is advised to use spectacles. You should have regular checkup for your eyes. If any problem is there, then you should go to an eye specialist or ophthalmologist. If he advise, use spectacles. Okay. So, if you have any problem with your vision, just consult your eye specialist, and if the doctor suggests to use or advise to use spectacles, then you should use it. Then, never look directly into the bright source of light like sun that can damage the retina of the eye. Never look directly into the bright light source like sun or laser beam. So, what will happen is that it is a powerful beam of light and that may cause injury to our retina. Then, never rub your eyes. If some particle does go into your eyes, wash your eyes with clean water. If there is no improvement, then consult a doctor. Okay. Never rub your eyes if some particle is gone into our eyes. Okay. Then wash your eyes with clean water. If that irritation is there, then you consult a doctor. Then wash your eyes frequently with clean water. Always read at regular distance for vision. Do not read by bringing your book too close to your eyes or keeping it too away from you. Okay. Always read under proper light. Okay. Don't read your books in dim light or in bright light also. Always use proper lighting in your study room. So, don't keep your book too much close to your eye and too much far away from your eyes. Okay. Then do not read in a moving vehicle. Do not read in a moving vehicle. Avoid watching television or working on computer for long sessions. Always take a break to rest your eyes. So, in this way we can take care of your eyes. Then you learned about balanced diet in class 6. If a food is deficient in some components, eyes may also suffer. Lack of vitamin A in foodstuff is responsible for many eye problems. Most common among them is night blindness. Night blindness. So, night blindness is mainly caused by the deficiency of vitamin A in food causes night blindness. A person who is suffering from night blindness cannot see properly in dim light. Cannot see properly in dim light. This may lead to complete blindness also. So, this one is a normal vision. For a person with night blindness, it appears to be like this. Okay. The reason is that he will not be able to see in dim light. Okay. One should therefore include in the diet components which have vitamin A, raw carrots, broccoli, green vegetables, cod liver oil are rich in vitamin A. Egg, milk, curd, cheese, butter and fruits such as papaya and mango are also rich in vitamin A. Then color blindness is there. Color blindness is a genetic condition caused by the absence of certain color sensitive pigments in the corn cells of the retina. Okay, it is a genetic condition caused by the absence of certain color sensitive cells or color sensitive pigments in the corn cells of the retina. Okay, some people cannot distinguish between different colors. It is due to the absence of certain pigments in the corn cells. So, here green and red cannot be identified. Okay. It is for normal vision green, yellow and red in color, these apples. For a color blind person, all these one appears to be yellow in color. So, you will not be able to identify green and red. Okay. Then, visually challenged person can read and write. Some persons including children can have visually handicapped. They have very limited vision to see things. Some person cannot see at all since birth. Some person may lose their eyesight because of a disease. Such persons try to identify things by touching and listening to voices more carefully. They develop their other sense organs more sharply. However, additional resources can enable them to develop their capabilities further. The most important resource for visually challenged person is Braille system. Braille system is a method which is widely used by visually challenged people to read and write. It was in 1821 by Louis Braille, a blind Frenchman. Visually challenged person feel the dots to identify the characters written in Braille system. So, this dots will be there. It is a combination of 6 dots. With the help of that 6 dots, we will represent the letters. Okay. So, when you touch that dots, they will be able to know which letter is that. Braille system has 33 dot patterns or characteristics. Each character represents a letter, a combination of a letter or a common word or a grammatical sign. Dots are arranged in cells of 2 vertical columns and 3 dots each. The pattern of dots to represent some English letters, English alphabets and numbers are given below. These patterns, when imposed on Braille sheet, help visually challenged persons to recognize words by touching. To make them easier to touch, the dots are raised slightly. Visually challenged person learn the Braille system by beginning with letters, then special characters and then letter combinations. Methods depend upon recognition by touching. Each character has to be memorized. Braille text can be produced by hand or by machine. Typewriter like devices and printing machines have now been developed. Okay. So, visually challenged person can read and write with the help of this Braille system. You can see in our footpaths an yellow color tile is there. Okay. That is for this blind persons. So, the design is slightly differ from the other one. So, when they touch with their stick, they will be know the way. Okay. So, that is about Braille system. Okay. Thank you.